Hi everybody, my name is Regina Barbado and I have been doing hair since 2014. My name is Regina and I go by Gena, aka Hair by Gena _ on Instagram. So what I'm gonna go over today is a little shadow root using Redken Shades EQ. Shadow root and color melt it. Yeah, so let's get started. The first thing I wanted to go over was I didn't do a full balayage on her. I did a partial. And this is great for anybody that just wants to save a little bit on money. I like to do it on like 6 to 8 month clients. They already have a full balayage, but 6 to 8 months in, they're like want a refreshing, but their hair's doesn't really need it. So I'll just kind of do the top. Pretty much what I'll do is I'll do the mohawk area, and then I'll do two foils going forward, and I'll maybe do like 1, 2, 3 foils on the side. Just a partial, enough to make it pop, but yeah, so that's what I did on her. So the bottom of her hair is actually still dark. Her natural level is like a 2. And bear with me with this Maggie doll because she actually, is a textured Maggie, and I got her off Amazon, and you just don't always get what you pay for. So she's shedding, don't be alarmed. Okay, so what I'm gonna use is Redken Shades EQ. Let me backtrack really quick. When I highlighted, put the highlights in her, I used this. So if you don't have one of these boards by Redken, get one. It makes it perfect for you to saturate all the ways through to the other side of the foil. The worst thing you could do is highlight and then turn it over and then you have splotches. So this was perfect for all over. So let's get started. I don't know if anybody has ever had their applicator bottles turn dark like this and they're just like stained. These are the ones I always use to do the root because I can tell them apart. I never want to do the bottom color and like get mixed up. So I'll do that. If I can't find one, what I'll do is I have a little Sharpie. It comes off after you quartz and everything. So I'll get a Sharpie and I'll just like circle Redken on there. And then now I can tell them apart because one's marked on and then one's not. So let's mix. I have already looked at her base and I know she's a level 2. When I'm shadow rooting, I don't want to do an actual level 2 because you're using demi-permanents and they always deposit a little bit darker. So I don't want to do a 2. I'm going to do a 3 in and a 6T. I kind of would have added like a 5V in there, but don't have it. And we're going to just make lemonade with this lemon here. So 3 in is what I'm using and 6T. And I'm just trying to get a cool, natural ash, brown ash color at the root. So I'm gonna mix that. And again, it's only a partial, so I'm not gonna color the bottom of her hair. I'm only gonna break the line of demarcation here. I'm gonna pass it a little bit, and then I'm going to let it set for like 15 minutes. I'm gonna give it a head start from the ends because I find that the top needs a little bit more time. I wouldn't want to rinse her out and then still see the stripes. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix, and I'm gonna mix 2 ounces. That's probably a bit much, but it's all good. Okay, and then 6T, just a really cool brown color. So there's 2, little over 2. And then here's the processing solutions. Okay, so we have the gel, and then we have the regular processing solution. This is more, the consistency is more watery, and I love it because for some reason I find that the Shades EQ processing solution, the original, it deposits way quicker. And remember, that's what I'm wanting for the base. The gloss, or the gel, I mean, this one, I feel like it takes a little bit longer, but I like to use it for the ends. If you're a little bit slower, you can use this one. I'm gonna use this one for the root because I want it to deposit fast. So I got a little over 2 ounces and it's 1-to-1 ratio. So a little over 2 ounces here with processing solution. Again, it's deposit, these are demi-permanent, so it's going to look a little darker. The 3 will look similar to the 2, 6 will even it out, so it's probably gonna give me a dark 3-4. And that's what I'm aiming for. Protect myself. Yeah, again, this Maggie, okay, well, get another glove. What I used for, I washed her with Redken's new acidic perfecting shampoo and conditioner, and then I put the leave-in treatment as well. And she's very textured, very coarse hair, and she's from Amazon, so she's shedding like crazy, falling out, but it's all good. So let's get a little root on here. When you're shaking these up, mix them really, really well. Sometimes I find myself right here just kind of shaking forever, but I really want to, what I won't want is squeeze it out and it just partly be the 6 and the 3 over here. So I just want everything to be married together. So just give it a good shake, mix it up really, really good. I love Shades EQ products. If you ask me why, the only thing I could relate it to is like, Redken is like the Whitney Houston of hair, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to. Everybody knows Whitney Houston, and they can try, but they can't hit those notes. So a lot of other brands can try, but to replicate this product, and I've tried so many different glosses, not sure if I can name them, but I've tried so many different ones. Pretty much everyone on the market that's local at our Cosmoprof or Salon Centric, and they just don't measure up to Whitney. So that's why Redken. They're very translucent, they're very forgiving. You mess up, you can kind of like erase a little bit as you're going along. So this is my favorite brush. It's Color Track, nothing fancy, but for me, it grabs a lot. I'm gonna stay away from her hairline because for some reason, the hairline soaks up the color like nobody's business. And I don't want a dark hairline. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, where they like do the shadow root and they include the hairline and the hairline's dark. Maybe because the hairs are super fine and they just soak up. I don't really know, but yeah. And what I'm doing, I'm like patting it, if you notice, like I'm patting it. And this is what it's kind of looking like from the back. What the best angle is, but bear with me. Try to get smaller sections and just break the line of demarcation. You know, the line where the highlight starts. I'm trying to blur that line. And so I pretty much go up and I go down. And again, I'm patting it, I'm breaking the line. Don't be afraid to pass the line of demarcation, just don't take it too far. I like them to only have a baby root because I want it to last them. They don't have to be in here all the time. Give someone else a turn to be in your chair. Another thing that I really love about Redken's Shades EQ is I love to color mount my extensions because, as we all know, extensions are not to be bleached, not really to be colored. I actually order them, hair extensions, like already colored, like custom colored. But sometimes it's off a little bit and I can go in with Shades EQ, I can give it a little shadow root. They melt really nice together on the hair extensions, so they're my go-tos. And so I love using them. I'm really comfortable using them. I love that they give a shine to the hair. I have my clients come in for a Shades EQ gloss every 2 to 3 months to tone their hair. If they have a shadow root and they kind of want to deepen it or darken it, I'll do like what I'm doing right now every 2 to 3 months. And I'm not worried about it compromising the integrity of the hair because there's no real developer. These aren't even strong enough to get to bump the base. They're not going to do anything to the dark hair whatsoever. So that's that. Absolutely love this brush from Salon Centric because it's huge. Get done faster. Salon Centric is Redken's headquarters. So that's the place you can get this stuff. You can only get Redken's stuff at Salon Centric. So I'm really excited for when they're gonna roll out in-person classes. Stay tuned for that. So say this was a person who had gray. So obviously we know she doesn't because I'm using a demi-permanent, just breaking the line of demarcation, but say she had grays, that's totally fine. What I'm doing right now, I would still do that and give or take on the formula, but I would just do this, but with a permanent color at the base. That's pretty much it. And then I would still use a demi-permanent for the ends because she doesn't have grays at the ends. We balayaged them. So it's pre-lightened. I feel comfortable using a demi-permanent on pre-lightened hair because we don't want to compromise the integrity of it. And that's what I love. Or another thing that I love about this product. So again, if you take a look, I left her whole hairline out because remember, we don't want it to get super dark. If for whatever reason you are one of those stylists that are a little concerned that I'm wondering if this dark level 3 is gonna get on my light color hair. So if you're feeling like that, understandable. When you get to the curve of the head, which we see would be right here, if you're feeling like you're afraid that you don't want it to get on it, just put cotton here. It'll stick because there's color there. And then I'll get this and start back from the middle. I try to wipe off my tip of my comb so I don't have any of those little errors. So then you can go like that, the hair will kind of prop over. So that's nice. Okay, so then repeat, just same thing on this side. And then I have a towel here so I can wipe whatever product off the tip of my comb so I'm not dragging it everywhere. And again, I'm gonna pat, and I'm really saturating because it has to have that like even saturation. Don't be afraid to just be generous with your product. Be generous. She'll thank you later. So I go up and I go down here and then always down. So had she not had a partial, I would section her in 4. And then I would start at the front, do that side, do this side, and then I would do the back quadrant and the back quadrant. And again, when the roll of the head, if you felt like the dark was gonna lay onto the light, just put a cotton here. Wherever you're feeling afraid like that, don't be afraid to just grab some cotton and protect yourself from those little errors. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit for 15 minutes. After that, I'm gonna I'm going to do the hairline. And when I do the hairline, I will pull the hair like back and I'll paint back. Then I'll pull the hair forward, paint forward. And then we're gonna color melt, like melt it into another color. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so I have now mixed, well this timer went off for 15 minutes, so she's good. It got a head start, the root got a head start. We're gonna do a total of 20 minutes after I apply this. So I'll start 20 minutes after it's fully applied. This is the bottom toner. Okay, so I'll go over what I mixed. I'm gonna open this before it starts oozing out. Okay, I determined that the highlighted portion of her hair is like a 7/8, right? So what did I mix? I want to go to that color, to the darkest color, but I know it still kind of has like 8s in it. So that's another reason why I love Redken, because it's very, there's a wide range with it. So I put 7V, level 7, violet, 8V, what's that gonna give me? Like a 7.5, because that's what I'm thinking she is. 7V, 8V, and 8T. So the V is gonna take care of this yellow, and then the T is gonna take care of the orangey part of it. So I'm trying to aim for a 7.5, 8 right here. So it's gonna be more of a dark ash blonde at the end. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, ma'am, can you please tilt your head on the side so I'm not painting all awkward. So I'll start, is she on there? Good, okay. I'll grab the ends, I'll flop them over. Another reason why we don't paint it so far down, because then that might get on the bottom. So the hairline is still left out. Wipe this clean. Let me get the bottom part. And what I used for this, I talked about earlier, I used the gel gloss because I feel like it's just a little bit slower than the original one. And I just need it to be a little slower because I need processing time, or application time, sorry. So I'm gonna leave out the hairline because I know that the hairline soaks up so quick. So I'm gonna grab it. If you feel like the hair is kind of damp, which she has like this coarse hair, and so it just, the water beads just slide off her hair. So I have a water bottle here, and I'll just lightly, this happens, you know, you let it sit for 15 minutes, so I'll take this hairline out and I'll give it a good little spray, and then I'll comb it through. Not combing here, I'm combing here. And the reason I did it, wet it, was because I feel like it gives, the water gives a better consistency when we're applying it and melting it. So when I'm putting this 7/8 color, I'm gonna put it on the root and then all the ways down. The reason I want to is because what you wouldn't want is for you to see like the dark, what was it, like a 2-3 or a level 3-4 that we're doing at the root, and then it drop. You want a transition, so you need to marry them together. And if you noticed the color ratio and the color formula that I did, they have common denominators. The first one was a 3N and a 6T. Well, guess what? I have 8T in the ends, so there is a common denominator. You know, the math that you never thought you'd use, the common denominator. So this is what I do. I get the color and I bring it down, and I call it scissoring. I don't know. So I'm scissoring it, and then I'm massaging it. I'm scissoring it, and I'm massaging it. Scissoring it and massaging it. I'm marrying those two colors together. Once I do that, then I'll comb it. So there's like 3 little things that I like to do to get a really nice blend. Okay, so then I'm gonna continue on grab this. If it's feeling a little dry, spray it so that you have, it doesn't have to be soaking wet, just give it a little spray so that you can have like control when you're applying it, and it helps the product move around. So again, I put it on the other color, I put it on the root color, see it here? And then I blend it and put some on. Make sure you get all these little babies. You don't want to leave anything out. And scissor it, massage it, scissor it, massage it. Hold my hand underneath, because that's what I'm using. I don't want to just squirt it everywhere. And the amount that I used was, or the ratio for the formula was, with the 7V, 8V, and 8T, was 1 ounce of each. And then 1-to-1 ratio with the gel, processing gel. Scissor, massage, scissor, massage, and then comb it through. Hopefully you guys can watch. Comb this over. Let's do the top. I feel comfortable like grabbing a little bit of a bigger piece because I don't know, I've been doing this forever and I feel comfortable. But if you're just starting this, like I would definitely start with smaller pieces. Maybe use your rat tail comb as like a guide. Maybe grab sections that are like this thick so that you can feel more comfortable. Comb it out. Okay, so then I'm gonna get this, hold my hand underneath, apply on the dark color all the way to the end. Okay, rub the color through, scissor it, scissor, massage, probably splashing color all over, but it's all good. Massage, comb. And I always like to kind of comb away from the client because I wouldn't want this to splash in her eyes. That'd be terrible. Okay, so there's that. I got that side done. I'll turn, and let's do this side. So all I have left is the front. And so with a normal client, I would do this very, very last. However, I know personally that her hairline isn't like ours. Her hairline is super thick. Ours is very fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do her hairline right now, last. But on a normal client, again, I wouldn't do this. So I still have my dark. And what I'll do is, I'm gonna look for, I guess since I have nothing, I'll put this towel on her. Normally I'll put like a foil right here or a mesh sheet or something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold her, everything that I have, her hairline. And I'll probably have her turn on the side so you guys can see. And then I'm gonna go here. And I can go tap. Just tapping enough to break the line of demarcation though. And then straight through. And now you see why I put the towel. Because I wouldn't want this light hair turning dark from her shadow root that's on. Break the line of demarcation, go up, go down, and you're just like tapping it like, and then I guess I can get this, and then paint her hairline, like that, and Be sure to pass the line. You wouldn't want like a line in the front of her face. Ugly. Okay. Tap down. Use a little bit more if you have to. And again, I'm just like kind of tapping. Her after is gonna be hideous as far as like her skin goes. Maybe don't do that with the real client. Maggie doesn't care. But your client will. And I don't have the Redken, the wipes, the color wipes to get the color off. But those are amazing. They smell so good. All my clients, every time I'm like wiping their forehead to get the color off, they're like, that smells like perfume. And I'm like, I don't know what they're made of, but they smell good. So that's that. Okay, so I'll go this side, do the same thing. Once that's on, we're good. So let's go ahead and just melt this back. I'll go like this. And again, it's dry. Remember, I was like wetting the other one, the back. So if this goes on somewhat dry, it's gonna process much faster. I'll lightly wet it, just so don't turn purple instantly. But I have a feeling it's gonna turn purple instantly. Okay. Comb that through. Touch it. Let's scissor that color, massage that color, like blend them. Try to blur that line as much as you can. Comb. Sit down. Scissor. Comb it through. Turn her. Okay. Now we're gonna do this side. Same thing, different side. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and process her for 20 minutes and come right back. Okay, so she's fully processed, 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna go wash her. Let's go. Okay, so we are now finished with Maggie, and she now has a seamless, let's take her off here, blended root melting into that level 7.8 color, 7.5 color. She's very textured and she's got that thick, coarse hair, but the blend is beautiful, it's seamless, and yeah, here's final product. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy hair days. Bye.